Good morning, everybody. Let's have a look at Litecoin. Sorry to keep banging on about Litecoin, but we've just seen an entry point basically today. So here's your breakout of this descending trend line. There's your golden cross retest, as messy as it was. Here's your support on a horizontal trend line. Basically, it's a descending triangle breakout from a high level, accompanied by pump signal, which is still in place. So we've come down to test the support, which previously was the resistance. And with that should come a follow through, back up to where we came from, beyond the most recent local high, and continuation above 140. It looks to me like 140 is almost guaranteed. Again, almost guaranteed does not mean guaranteed, but I've certainly put a position in. I've been going crazy on these derivative positions recently, way higher leverage than I've used to, and as much as I like to boast about them occasionally when they work out, for the most part, they don't work out. So I don't want to lead anyone into a false sense of security. When you see me do these super massive, 50 to 200x longs, which again is something that I've just got into doing really in this sideways and boring market. Just remember, with every one that you see that has succeeded, I can tell you now, 5 or 6 or 7 or more has probably been stopped out. You get stopped out instantly, or you ought to, when you do a situation like that. So yeah, I've just entered into one here. I don't think it's too dramatic, but it does exist. If you want to, and again, this isn't me saying use futures, but if you wanted to use futures or learn to use futures, you can use it on BYDFi, which is like the link that floats around at the bottom of this screen. Now, don't put your own money in. So you can set it up and you get given some free money. And if you have used my link, you can contact me and I can send you even more free money. I think I've got a handful of 25 quid, $25 trading bonuses as well. So I've been giving them out, over the last few months to members of the Patreon and the Telegram as well. And I've still got some more. So if you want to set an account up and you contact me, I'll send you $25 worth of free trading money, basically. Right. Let's have a look at other aspects of this chart. We recognise the breakout, we recognise the retest, we're above all moving averages, including the 10 exponential. This looks pretty sweet to me, so let's take it down a notch to the 4 hourly. What are you doing? So the 4 hourly, it has a golden cross, which is instantly retested, moved up. Now, if we do dip ever so slightly lower, we're talking 116 before we decide if this is a broken position or not. I like it. I think it's good. The rest of the market's pulling down, and if it bounces, then this is going to bounce bigger than most. It is a good looking chart. In fact, it's in the green today when most things are in the red. And if we just go back over to the weekly, we recognise this, and this is where it was highlighted as a really good looking chart. A giant golden cross that's been generated after a sideways situation since 2022. So it's done pretty well, and it's climbed slowly but surely, higher highs, higher lows, but effectively in a sideways scenario. And with that, continuation. So this is the first opportunity before, since the last couple of weeks when I spoke about it for the first time. And like I said, I don't look at Litecoin normally. I know it's on the side of my panel here, but I don't normally look at Litecoin. It was presented in a Patreon saying, what do you think of this? And I thought it looked amazing. So I've been making videos on it ever since, really, but it wasn't my call. It's not like I scoured through all the tickers and found Litecoin. It was presented in a Patreon stream, and I've adopted it now as one of my pet favorite charts. So it really is just a quick, simple update on Litecoin, and saying that we've come down to a retest of the breakout. So I like that. Ethereum, slow and steady. It doesn't win anything at the moment. It's basically sideways to the max. We're above, we're below, we're above, we're below. We don't really know where we're going to go, but we haven't broken down yet. The next support below, 2,600, where we're sort of fighting these wicks and bodies, is 2,400. If it does come to that level, it would be a bid, but at the moment, I'm not buying any more. I bought a 3,000, I bought a 2,600. I'm not buying any more. This is it. I'm just going to leave it to hopefully turn itself around. I'm pretty sure that it will turn itself around, but it doesn't look like it's going to do it right now. Bitcoin, it's looking a bit rounded at the top, to be honest with you. If we are going to come down on this one, we're talking upper 80s is a very good support for it to bounce and turn itself up. Now, I'm a little concerned in the short term that's going to, well, I wouldn't say concerned. I mean, that would be good for the whole market to come down here and bounce from there. But one thing I saw this morning is that the Dixie, despite doing what we thought it was going to do, which was come down now, has found itself at a 20 moving average on the weekly. So if you're going to get a bounce, maybe even a reversal actually, this is the sort of place it's going to happen from. There's lots of resistance above us, but this is a massive mega support on the weekly. And sometimes when the Dixie goes up, everything else goes down. Not always, but sometimes. But if things are weak like they are at the moment and the Dixie wants to come back up, then yeah, you'd be expecting other things to be negatively affected by that, to be fair. So the Dixie may be looking for a bounce right now. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Stocks still climbing. We've broken out of the descending channel. So this falling channel, we've broken out from that. We do have bearish divergence on the money flow index on the daily. I won't get too concerned about it, but we do have it. We've got it also on the money flow index on the weekly as well. I wouldn't get too concerned about it, but we do have it. At the moment, it does look like it wants to try to continue to go back up again. But with the Dixie doing that, maybe we shouldn't hold our breath too much in the short term before we know whether we're going to go up or down on this Dixie. Again, I don't want to hold too much weight on the Dixie. Lots of people do. It's one of those things that does have an impact, or at least you have to put on the back burner. You have to recognise that, all right, the Dixie may be looking for a bounce here, so we may be looking for the inverse. But it doesn't mean it definitely has to happen. It's just one part of, it's just one little sprinkling. It's a bit of seasoning on your morning analysis is all I'm saying. You can look at your Bitcoin, you can look at your altcoin, you can look at whatever, but you do have to sprinkle some of this Dixie on the top, because it's likely to change the flavour of your trade if this starts to move up. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't have to. It could complement it. You know, it could taste fine. You know, it could turn out to be a delicious pie of financial charts, but if you don't sprinkle some of that Dixie on it, then, you know. Well, I'll leave it with that. No, there's no need to go on that analysis anymore. You know what I'm saying. You know the deal. Right, so I'm going to leave it with you there. The video is primarily about Litecoin. Does look good for a situation to bounce up into 140 from here. Everything else, hanging in the balance, I have to say. Let's not get too overexcited about what could happen short term. But Litecoin, yeah, still one of the best things you could find out there. Again, it's not a millionaire starter kit. It's just a decent setup. That's all it is. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.